Here with your KMRS local news for September 16th, I'm Matt Privratsky. On Wednesday, Lutheran Brethren Homes of Fergus Falls announced plans that are underway for Lakeland Hospice House to undergo an expansion to include an enhancement of services provided at the house. The plan includes a 12,000 square foot addition, part of which has already been designed in the original blueprints. The addition will allow room for enhanced assisted living services in a total of 34 private rooms, a number of which will continue to be dedicated specifically for hospice patients. The finished facility will offer a higher level of service than traditional assisted living, giving people a direct alternative to nursing home care. The completion of the new addition is projected to take approximately 9 months from start to finish. And the 2011 apple harvest is underway in Minnesota, and for most growers, it's shaping up to be a good one. Orchards are open for business and have a good supply of early varieties like Zester, Paula Red, and others. Harvest of the Sweet Tango is just beginning, and the popular Honeycrisp will be available in mid to late September. As a result of the cool spring weather, most varieties will ripen about 7 to 10 days later than normal, says Paul Huguenin, coordinator of the Minnesota Department of Agriculture's Minnesota Grown program. The free Minnesota Grown directory is available online at minnesotagrown.com or by phone at 1-800-657-3878. The online directory also offers Google Maps, making it easy to find the orchard, and direct links to the orchard's website for all the details about the apples and activities they offer. The U.S. Department of the Treasury announced this week that 3 additional Minnesota community banks received a total of $10.7 million as part of the next wave of funding provided through the Small Business Lending Fund. The SBLF, which was established as part of the Small Business Jobs Act that President Obama signed into law, encourages community banks to increase their lending to small businesses, helping those companies expand their operations and create new jobs. The Minnesota community banks receiving funds as part of this week's announcement include banks in Fosston and Eden Prairie, and also in Kirkhoven. The Kirkhoven Bankshares Incorporated received $1.5 million. The Obama administration has also supported 17 direct tax breaks that provide tax relief of more than $50 billion to small businesses. These tax breaks were designed to support job creation and retention, entrepreneurship, investment, and growth. Enrollment is up for the 4th year in a row at Morris. At 1,822, the highest total in more than 10 years, degree-seeking enrollment at the University of Minnesota Morris increased by 7.8% for the fall of 2011. It brings the total enrollment of new and continuing students up to 1,932. Applications to Morris for the fall of 2011 also set a new all-time high for the 2nd year in a row. Director of Admissions Brian Herman notes that Morris's 4-year growth trend is the result of many factors, including student satisfaction. We're attracting students who understand the Morris experience and appreciate its authenticity, says Herman. Tuition has increased throughout higher education, but a Morris liberal arts education continues to be a very strong value for our students and their families, and once they're here on campus, students are not disappointed. Morris delivers what it promises. And 2 were injured after a drunk driving accident in Benson. The Benson Police Department and Swift County Sheriff's Office were called to the 300 block of Atlantic Avenue in Benson on Wednesday after a 2-vehicle crash with injuries. Emergency services arrived on the scene and determined that both drivers had minor injuries. They were not transported to the hospital. Upon further investigation, law enforcement officers smelled the odor of an alcoholic beverage from a male driver of one of the 2 vehicles. The male driver participated in standard field sobriety tests and was subsequently arrested for driving while intoxicated. Morris is one step closer to having a second runway at their airport. The Morris City Council approved a resolution this week to move forward with the design phase of a new parallel taxiway. The entire project is federally funded at a 95% rate, but that means moving at a slightly slower pace. First, a grant is given for a design phase. Then, once the federal government knows Morris has the land acquired and the taxiway designed, they will allow approval of the construction grant. Morris's portion of the project will be paid using the $150,000 they receive annually from the Federal Aviation Administration. The city has $600,000 built up and will also be getting money back from other cities that it's lent out in the past. The project is expected to be done by the end of the year. About a dozen properties will be up for zoning changes next week. All property owners in the city of Morris were sent notices about possible zoning changes that may take place in the future, and while everyone received this notice, everyone may not be affected by the proposed changes. There are about 20 proposed changes to how properties are zoned currently, and some simply change the zoning from heavy industrial to light industrial, Others eliminate the highway designation from properties that are no longer on existing highways. A complete list of the proposed zoning changes can be found on the city website at ci.morris.mn.us. If you have an opinion on the changes, you can attend the public hearing on September 20th at 5:15 p.m. in the Morris Senior Center. And that's been your KMRS local news for September 16th. I'm Matt Privratsky.